Good evening, everyone. Online students, can you hear me? Okay. Today we are going to discuss a very important topic, which is the... Akhil, can you hear me? Am I audible? Am I audible, visible? Akhil? Yes. We are going to discuss the Shanghai Cooperation Organization. Not exactly Shanghai Cooperation Organization. Recently, a summit has happened, right, which India hosted. India is the president of Shanghai Cooperation Organization. So, the culmination of presidency resulted into a summit. The summit was supposed to happen in physical mode, but it happened virtually. So, the question that arose was whether hosting the summit virtually and not in person indicate that India started losing interest in Shanghai Cooperation Organization, because the meeting was supposed to happen in a physical mode, but it was only before a couple of days, the actual summit date, or a couple of weeks before that, this decision to hold this meeting in a virtual mode has been given to the members of SCO. The government has not given any reason that why this sudden change of plan, because governments generally don't give any reason. But anyway, we will find out some of the possible reasons why this happened, and we will also see whether this change from physical to virtual indicate that there are some issues that India faces within SCO, right? Before getting into this, some basic aspects of SCO. I will just give you a brief on that, right? After that, we'll go into the actual issue. Shanghai Cooperation Organization. As said with China, China is known for what? Double speak, in the sense that you won't be able to make sense of it, what they actually say. They say something, but they mean something. Like, this is Shanghai. The word is Shanghai. Shanghai is a city in China. So, you might think that Shanghai Cooperation Organization, the secretariat, the headquarters of SCO might be in Shanghai. But where is it? It is in Beijing, right? So, Shanghai Cooperation Organization started in 1996 as Shanghai V. Earlier the name was Shanghai V. Later in 2001, it became this SCO. SCO is an international intergovernmental organization. Intergovernmental international organization. A Eurasian organization that focus on political, economy and security cooperation among member states. As of today, SCO has 9 members. Earlier it was 6. In 2017, 2 joined. In 2023, that is the recent summit, the SCO members accepted another member. That member is Iran. So, the total membership of SCO is how many? 6 plus 2 plus 1, 9. How to remember this? Very easy. Do you know the Central Asian countries? There are 5 countries in Central Asia. Tajikistan, Uzbekistan, Kyrgyzstan, Kazakhstan and Turkmenistan. Turkmenistan is not part of SCO. Turkmenistan has a stated policy of neutrality. not being part of any organization having a security or military, orientation or cooperation. So Turk or Turkmenistan, they are neutral, so they are not part of that. So we have Kyrgyzstan, we have Kazakhstan, we have Tajikistan, we have an Uzbekistan. 4, how many left? 5. As you know, Shanghai is China. Wherever there is China, there is Russia. Wherever there is China, there will be Pakistan. Wherever there is Russia, there will be India. Now, Iran have also joined. Very easy to remember. Right? You might get a question in PT. In 2024, another member is planning to join. Which member? Belarus. Right? 2024 will be, this Belarus will join. I believe the summit is going to be held in Kazakhstan. Just, we'll see that later, we'll check it, but this is a fact. Belarus. Now, let us see the objective of SCO. Why this organization has been set up? What are the objectives? This objective will help you to not only understand the aims, reasons behind SCO, but also will help you to compare or assess the working of SCO. Because how do you assess success of a program? Let's take this program, Ayushman Bharat Jan Arogya Yojana. This is a program. What is the function of this? To provide qualitative and timely and affordable healthcare to people. It has some targets. So, the success of the program will be assigned or assessed on the basis of objective and target of this program. Similarly, the success of SEO will be assessed, compared, judged on the basis of objectives of SEO. If the objectives are such that which may not be able to, which the members cannot achieve, then the organization has some problem. I'll explain this, don't worry. First of all, let's see the objective. First objective of SEO is developing mutual trust and good neighborliness. I will not write full. I am speaking, you need to write, right? Mutual trust and good neighborliness. Neighborliness. Next is cooperation. Cooperation where? Political, economy, security, culture, etc., etc. So, expanded area of cooperation. Very easy to remember. What is third? Maintain and ensure peace and stability in the region. Peace and stability in the region by countering radicalism, extremism, terrorism, etc., etc. Very easy. Fourth one. Work towards a representative, fair, equitable, democratic international order. Keep writing. If you can write, then this will save your time. Otherwise, you have to go home and read the material and make notes. Right? So, fourth one is democratic international order, which is more representative and fair. Fantastic. Objectives are very noble, isn't it? Anyway, let's keep this objective here. Now, let us come back to the original summit. The summit held in the virtual format. Whenever a summit happens, summit in the sense, the word summit means what? Mountain top, the highest. So, in summit, the heads of state or heads of government, depending upon the political system, they meet. So, in the summit, the president of China and the heads of state of various other countries, including Prime Minister Modi, they met. So, whenever this summit happens, an outcome there is an outcome of any summit. So the SCO summit, 23rd SCO summit hosted by India has two major outcomes. Number one is New Delhi Declaration. New Delhi Declaration is one outcome. Second one is two joint statements. So one New Delhi Declaration, two joint statements. So 23rd SCO Summit has two major outcomes. Number one, New Delhi Declaration, two joint statement. Very easy to remember. New Delhi Declaration. Some important points under the New Delhi Declaration are: number one, the SCO reaffirmed their commitment for fair, equitable, international order, democratic representative order. Very easy, that objective. Number two, bloc politics, ideological confrontation are not in the interest of any country. So, ideological confrontation or bloc politics are not in the interest of any country. What are they saying? Bloc politics, in the sense that there is an emergence of Cold War which is going on. The West as a bloc is trying to create challenges for the so-called East, as you know, in the context of Ukraine and Russia war. Right? Russia is being isolated through sanctions and various other aspects. Ideology, capitalism, communism, that ideology. Liberalism, globalization. So whether it is ideological confrontation or it is bloc politics, expansion of NATO, all these things are not in the interest of the entire world as well as the people of the globe. They decided, SCO members decided to expand, deepen cooperation in multiple areas. Whatever areas come to your mind, you can write. But when you write answer, you will write the members decided to expand and deepen cooperation into multiple areas, including culture, tourism, digitalization, etc. This is how you write. Fourth one, the situation in Afghanistan needs to be addressed. And in Afghanistan there should be a neutral, independent, democratic government in Afghanistan. This is what SCO is saying. Neutral, independent, democratic government in Afghanistan is required in order to bring stability, peace, progress to Afghanistan. SCO reaffirmed the centrality of Central Asia. Central Asia is the core of SCO. This is the affirmation of who? The summit. The members also agreed that there should be more coordinated approach in order to tackle the rising challenges of extremism, extremism, terrorism, separatism, etc., etc. So these are some outcomes of the New Delhi Declaration. Keep in mind, you need to write an answer, whether it is in 10 mark or in 15 mark. If your optional is, if you have an optional, then it will be 20. Right? Whatever content we are providing here is more than enough. Two joint statement. Number 1, joint statement on addressing radicalization. Radicalization is to be addressed, fine. Second is joint statement on digital transformation. Digital transformation. So this is the crux of the outcome of what? Outcome of SEO summit. Now the real question comes. No, I will give you another section here. Significance of SEO summit. What is the significance of this summit? What is the importance? The countries met together, although in virtual mode. They deliberated upon a lot of issues facing the humanity and the region, and also agreed upon issuing a two joint statements as well as the New Delhi Declaration. So whether the summit has any significance? The first significance of the summit is, despite the existing differences among the member countries, they were able to develop consensus on pressing issues facing humanity. Another significance is expansion of SEO. Iran became a new member, right? As Iran has proximity to Afghanistan and Pakistan, and one of the core objectives of SEO is to maintain peace and stability in the region. The membership of Iran can contribute to furthering what? Furthering controlling the radicalism and terrorism in the region, thereby promoting peace and prosperity. Connectivity is an important area of SEO. Third one. As you know, as far as India is concerned, India has the Chabahar port, and there are some issues with respect to this development of port. So SEO can be a forum where India and India and Iran can develop and make progress as far as Chabahar port is concerned, and the Central Asian countries also want to become Chabahar, part of this port, as well as, if you see this development in the context of INFTC, there is this international north-south transport corridor. Some of the Central Asian countries are part of this. So if the INFTC is properly connected to Chabahar, it will promote connectivity in the region, and connectivity is linked to economic progress and development. So SEO can act as a forum for developing connectivity. In fact, as you know, the theme of the SEO summit was secure SEO. This was the theme of the summit. This is the word coined by the government of India. S stands for security, E stands for economic development, C stands for connectivity, U stands for unity, R stands for respect for territorial integrity and sovereignty, E stands for environment. So as you know, connectivity is an important area. Not only that, environment, the significance of this summit is, in the New Delhi Declaration, they decided that 2024, the year 2024 will be SEO year of the environment. As you know, in the context of climate change, pandemic issues, right? And the disproportionate impact of these challenges to the developing South, keeping environment as core to the developmental process, within the region will help achievement of sustainable development. You see, points you have to manufacture. This is what we call analysis. Right? If you think, definitely you will get. Depending upon the nature of question, you write it. Because UPSC will not ask, lift down the points or provisions under the New Delhi Declaration. This is not going to be asked in the mains examination. Right? What they will say is, we have provided some questions. We will discuss that after the lecture. Don't worry. So this is why analysis is required. Write some points and analyze it. Explain it properly. Let us come to the main issue. What is the main issue we are discussing? Virtual summit. Whether the virtual summit indicate or reflect diminishing returns to India. This is the core issue we are going to discuss. India has conducted, as you know, as part of SCO presidency, more than 130 meetings. And India also has taken many initiatives which we have provided in the booklet, like dealing with tourism, culture, digital economy, etc., etc. So, right from when we got the rotating presidency of SCO, we have been very active in using this presidency to deepen our engagement with the SCO members by taking so many initiatives. Everything we have done, but at the last moment we say that it is the culmination, the summit is the culmination, where everybody comes and sit together and discuss. But at the very last moment we decided that instead of a physical meeting, we will be doing what? A virtual meeting. So a physical meeting would have provided opportunity for the leaders to come together and discuss face to face. As you know, human touch is more, it has very significance. But without providing any reason, changing the mode of meeting, summit meeting, from physical to virtual, scholars or analysts say that it shows that India has come to realize that as far as SCO is concerned, there are not much relevance as far as India is concerned. SCO membership, as you know, India got it in 2017. From 2005 onwards, India was an observer country. Observer. As you know, there are two types of members: observer, permanent member, who are the members. Another one is observer. Another one is dialogue. An observer means the country can be part of the meeting, observe. Cannot speak unless asked. So he or she can go there and listen and come back. Observer. Dialogue partner means the country can be part of the dialogue, although might not be part of the decision making process. So India has been in the SCO as an observer from 2005, and then after that we have been trying to get into this SCO, right? We want membership, and we got in 2017. We became very happy. So what changed from 2017 to 2023 within 5 years or so? That have we come to realize that SCO might not help us to achieve our own geopolitical or strategic interest in the region? Is that the reason why this physical meeting is converted into virtual meeting? I will give you some possible reason, although these reasons have not been given by the government. Right? Government did not provide any reason. Instead, government defended it. So we will use the government's argument to support the position that virtual summit does not mean losing relevance of SCO to India. Now we are going to see the argument that yes, virtual summit indicate that SCO has been losing its relevance as far as India is concerned. One major argument is that China is dominating SEO. China dominates SEO. So as long as China dominates SEO, China will continue to call the shots. What should be done, how it should be done, everything. So India does not have room or space as far as SEO is concerned to formulate its approach, strategies. So we do not have enough room to set the agenda or decide the working of it. There are one crucial example here. Government of India requested or put forward this proposal that English should also be the official language of SEO. As of today, the official languages of SEO are two, Chinese and Russian. So they did not agree to that, number one. Number two, millet. Millets, as you know, millets is something which India wants to promote. So, Government of India also wanted to have this millet promotion, etc., as far as SEO work program. But it is said that China has blocked this proposal. Not only that, Belt and Road Initiative. Because of the domination of China, SEO member countries have been participating in One Belt, One Road or Belt and Road Initiative of China. Except India, all the countries of SEO are part of BRI. So SEO has become a forum for promoting Belt and Road Initiative. Right from India, when India became permanent member, India has been consistently voicing its opposition to BRI. Even in this conference or in this summit, except India, all the other countries supported, in fact, took the position that this BRI is helping the region. BRI is benevolent. BRI is helping the countries and people in the region in terms of connectivity and development. All the other countries except India endorsed the BRI document. So India, as far as this connectivity is concerned, is isolated. And there are other reasons too, because in the context of Russia-Ukraine war, Russia and China became friends having no limits. No limits friendship is between China and Russia. So China and Russia together in SEO. And Iran also became part of SEO. As you know, some countries in the world are coming together in order to provide a counter force to the NATO or the West. As you know, after the Second World War, bloc politics emerged. Communist bloc and capitalist bloc led by Soviet Union and the USA. As of today, there is emergence of a Cold War. Emergence, I would say. One is led by China, another is led by USA. In the Chinese bloc, you will find countries like Russia, China, Myanmar, Cuba, Venezuela, Iran, and many African countries. So, Pakistan, China, Russia, Iran, and all the Central Asian countries. These are satellite states of Russia and China. India does not have any say as far as it is concerned. Not only that, as you know, bilateral issues between India and China is at a very, lowest level after the Galwan issue. India believed that joining Shanghai Cooperation Organization might provide a platform to discuss these bilateral issues. Because whenever there is summit meeting, the officials are going, ministers are going, right? So they might get some time to discuss and etc. So it provides some kind of atmosphere. But that did not happen. The relation between India and China, what was there in 2017, if you compare, it has deteriorated. And what about Pakistan? So bilateral issue between India and China and India and Pakistan are also hampering further cooperation within the SCO. Now let us see what the government has said. The government said, Foreign Secretary of this country said that we have organized how much? 130 plus meeting, we have taken a lot of initiatives, right? This shows that SCO is relevant to us. Isn't it? If it is not relevant, then we would not have invested this much political and diplomatic capital. So it shows that it has relevance. Not only that, if SCO is not relevant to India, then despite criticizing the connectivity project of China and criticizing the terrorist activities of Pakistan during the summit meeting, in fact the Prime Minister categorically said, connectivity projects should not undermine sovereignty and territorial integrity of nations. There should be neutral treatment, impartial treatment of countries who are promoting terrorism. And SCO member countries should not discriminate. These two statements are against who? Pakistan and China. So despite this views and viewing the member countries as acting against India's core interest, still we hosted the summit and we were able to develop some consensus. We were part of New Delhi Declaration. And it was only one point of divergence where the BRI, one part of this New Delhi Declaration, which deals with Economic Development Strategy 2030. Economic Development Strategy 2030 was also an outcome of the SCO summit under New Delhi Declaration, but India did not sign that or endorsed it. The point I am trying to say that despite all these challenges, all these issues impacting our security and integrity, still we became part of this entire organization as well as we were able to develop consensus and to issue a joint statement. In fact, SCO membership, the significance of SCO to India is very huge, although there are some challenges. Just because of conversion of a physical meeting to virtual mode does not indicate that India is losing interest or SCO is losing relevance as far as India is concerned. The fundamental problem is that it is difficult for India to balance between the West and the East. India does not want that Vladimir Putin, who is accused of war crimes, against whom an international criminal court warrant is pending, to be part of the summit meeting hosted by India. There is huge pressure as far as India is concerned, criticize Kremlin, condemn Putin. But India has not done that so far. So hosting Vladimir Putin, who is accused of war crime, and against whom the entire West is asking India to take action, do you think that hosting Putin will send a message to the West? What kind of message we will be sending? That India has started to take sides. Right? So this might be one reason behind it. We did not want to complicate the issues. Second, this the bilateral issue between India and Pakistan and India and China. As you know, before the summit meeting, External Affairs Minister of India, in fact, External Affairs Ministers or Foreign Ministers of SCO countries also met. Where? In Goa. Mr. Jaishankar and Bilawal Sardari Bhutto, Pakistan, Foreign Minister. Not Bilawal, what is his name? Bilawal Bhutto. Yes, not Sardari, Bilawal Bhutto. Whoever that might be. They exchanged such views which were not generally exchanged or spoken in diplomatic meeting. Jaishankar criticized sponsor of terrorism, etc., like that. So he said that you are using terrorism for political objective. So instead of a cordial atmosphere for the summit meeting, the External Affairs meeting provided an, what we say, more hostile situation or environment. So India did not want that the Prime Minister of Pakistan come to India and again this happens, which might create challenges for issuing a statement or building consensus. There is an English saying, what is that? Distance promotes admiration. Isn't it? So government of India decided that let us keep distance and promote admiration. Again, I am telling you, the points I am giving you are not the points given by the government of India. Government of India did not provide any cogent reason. Right? But these are some possible reasons for it. But having these reasons do not mean that India has lost interest in SCO. Right? Because SCO as far as India is concerned is very significant. Because, I mean, the fundamental point is that SCO has focus on peace, development, combating terrorism, extremism, drugs, etc. As you know, India is in the geographical area where all these issues are impacting India. So, the participation of India in SCO is very much beneficial to take coordinative action as far as the national security threats are concerned. Secondly, Central Asia, the resources and market of Central Asia. Although there is India Central Asia Summit, SCO will provide a platform as far as India is concerned. Now there is Iran, we can connect through them. And there is another, whenever global governance institutions, global bodies, whether they deal with rule of law, international relations, trade, global finance, whenever there is decline of these global bodies, regional groupings start to emerge. As you know, as of today, there is a decline that is being witnessed in the global political, financial, economic institution, whether it is UN, whether it is WTO, whether it is IMF and World Bank. So whenever these global governance institutions, their role, scope, responsibilities or their impact is reduced, in order to promote local peace, regional peace, development, growth, trade, regional organization will start to emerge. When globalization declines, regionalism emerges. So SCO is a prominent block here in this region. Whether it is security, trade and various other aspects, it will benefit India. And as you know, as the USA and NATO withdrew from Afghanistan, Afghanistan is the epicenter of all these issues. So SCO is very much keen to address the problems of Afghanistan. Keep in mind, India does not want to provide strategic depth to Pakistan as far as Afghanistan is concerned. The word strategic depth means the ability of a nation to control the affairs of another nation. A Pakistan having friendly regime in Afghanistan is a threat to India. As you know that Kandahar, plane hijack and everything. And when Taliban entered Kabul, it was the ISI Director General who came flying from Islamabad. You know this. The point I am trying to say that SCO today or tomorrow is going to deal with the Afghanistan problem in whichever way. That is why the Neutral Declaration says neutral, democratic. As if democracy is a word that can be used by autocratic regimes. Anyway, I'll discuss that later. So, the USA has gone, NATO has gone, there is a vacuum, SCO is going to fill up the vacuum. And India has to be in SCO in order to decide the contours, the modalities, the manner in which the Afghan problem is resolved. We cannot be kept out of it. When Taliban took over Afghanistan in 1996, we decided to cut off everything. And we know that we have suffered because of that. We provide strategic depth to Pakistan. We do not want to, repeat that mistake. That is why we opened our mission in Afghanistan. Although it is not a technical mission, whatever that might be. The point is that we want to be there. So SCO is an organization that is working in that region. Right? So as far as SCO is concerned, it is significant to India. The point I am trying to make again is, shifting from one mode to another does not mean that it is declining significance. Although, proper communication, right, might have removed the doubts and other things. But anyway, now I am going to tell you about I am going to critique this SCO. What are the impediments of success of SCO? We know that SCO has the objectives: democratic world order, international peace, security, right, cooperation. These objectives of SCO are something contradiction in terms. Contradiction in terms. Don't use these words in the examination, but to have more effect, I am using it. They say trust building is the objective. Trust build करना है, अच्छी बात है. Trust build and good neighborliness. What kind of trust and good neighborliness? India and China. I am simply giving you an example. China entered LAC. China has tried to enter the actual control, right? And it is accused of occupying territory of India. Not only that, China has been blocking India's efforts to deal with terrorism in the UN, blocking India's proposal to sanction the terrorists based in Pakistan. Anyway, the point, so will it build trust? Will it build trust and will it amount to good neighborliness? India and Pakistan, always problem. Not only India, Pakistan, India, China, Tajikistan and Kyrgyzstan. Yes, Tajikistan and Kyrgyzstan recently. Border war between them. Somebody has switched on the mic, please switch off. So, despite the noble objective, the actions speak otherwise. Are you getting what I am trying to say? You can have noble objective, but in order to achieve that objective, you should work that way. Your action deficient should match the objective. You need to practice what you preach. But it seems it is not happening. Number 2, democratic, fair, neutral, international world order, which means they want reformed multilateralism, more fair for the global south, etc., etc. They want democracy externally, but they do not want democracy internally. Most of the countries except India and Pakistan to some extent, all the countries are autocracy. They are non-democratic authoritarian regimes. They want democracy in the global system, but they do not want democracy inside. Even this is a contradiction. Pakistan is a flawed democracy. India is the only democracy in that sense. This SCO is called as Association of Autocracies. क्या नाम इनका? Derogatorily, Association of Autocracies. Not democracy. Autocrat, single individual doing everything. Lifetime president. Who? China, the Xi Jinping, right? Putin, various presidents of Uzbekistan, Tajikistan, Kazakhstan. None of them is democracy. They are working for democratic, fair, equitable order based on emphasis on human rights. These are the countries which are violating human rights and suppressing dissent and killing democracy within their own borders. So do they have a moral ground? I mean, not only moral ground, will they be able to achieve it? Without internal democracy, there cannot be external democracy. Nobody will hear them. So SCO cannot be a block as such for democratization, representation, broad basing the governance architecture of international institutions. It will be very difficult for them. Third one, as you already know, the bilateral challenges. These things overshadow. The bilateral issues tend to overshadow what? The SCO deliberations. Because as long as the Belt and Road Initiative issue is not addressed properly, right, and Chinese hegemony over the region, which is not going to be addressed for that matter, the potential of SCO will not be addressed, will not be achieved. You talk about expanding, deepening cooperation. How that can be? If there is no mutual trust and good neighborliness, this cannot happen. You also want people-to-people ties, tourism. But people-to-people connectivity or people-to-people exchange can only happen in cordial atmosphere. The way Chinese can come to India and go here and there, Indians cannot go there. Why? Restricted society. The fundamental, the challenges to SCO is by design, not by chance or by situational factors. Design in the sense that structural. The composition of SCO itself has flaws. It will be difficult to work together on and develop common grounds and common agenda when there is ideological differences among members. When the political system of countries are different, the governance structure is different, the deliberations, the cooperation and coordination will suffer. So structural impediments, they will remain structural, fundamental. But despite all these challenges, differences, structural design flaws, etc., 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 still SCO as an organization has its own significance. The significance lies in the fact that it can emerge, it is emerging as a regional organization. And its expansion indicates the fact that members are willing to be part of it, other countries. Why does one country want to become part of something if there is no benefit for it? As far as connectivity is concerned, energy requirement is concerned, trade opportunities are concerned, security dimensions are concerned, the Shanghai Cooperation Organization has huge significance. And from the Indian point of view, you know that, what is the significance of this. And it is not necessary that ideological difference will always create challenges and problems and prevent progress. We have a lot of examples. Right? Do you think that democracy or rule of law for that matter prevented USA from joining hands with China in 1979? You know that USA recognized Taiwan as China. USA embassy was in China. It was 1975, if I am not wrong, that the embassy was shifted from Taiwan to China. Why? Because despite China being an authoritarian nation, non-democratic, USA wanted to control the rise of Russia, Soviet Union. If democracy and human rights are the fundamental deciding factor in international relation or regional organization or global cooperation, then USA would not have cooperation with the Middle East. Right? Although these ideological differences, ideological underpinnings or moorings might influence, but ultimately it is the national interest that guides nations and groupings. So despite these challenges and differences, SCO has huge significance to address the challenges the region faces. It can promote and expand connectivity. In that sense, it can deepen trade. Trade is front of the economic development. When there is economic development, there is less chance of what? Radicalism, extremism, separatism. Hence, there will be peace and security. SCO has this RATS, RATS. क्या है? Regional Anti-Terrorist Structure situated in Tashkent, Uzbekistan. This is a coordinated institution having representatives from the SCO member countries. This organization deals with counter-terrorism, intelligence sharing. There is a threat that instability in Afghanistan may spread into Central Asian nations. Central Asian nations are generally known for moderate Islam. So, to keep Central Asian nations as such and not to fall prey to the radical version of the religion and various other terrorist ideologies of ISIS and the Taliban, it is necessary that Central Asian countries are part of an organization which not only deals with security aspect through force, but also provide developmental opportunities. When there is instability, there is chance for conflict. So stable Central Asia, SCO, not only that SCO has relevance in the context of declining trade institutions of global trade, WTO, so-called deglobalization. SCO members represent 24% of global GDP. SCO members represent 20% of global oil. SCO members represent 44% of natural gas. SCO members represents 42% of world population. What does it mean? Huge opportunities for integration, common approach to development. Two questions, can we say India is an odd one out in SEO? No. Number one, no. Does China has veto power? No. There is no question of veto power in the sense. China has veto power in the sense that China dominates it. You see, I give you BRI. India did not endorse it. All the other 8 nations endorsed it. What does it mean? China has control over them. Is that? Isn't it? S in SEO stands for Shanghai. Keep that in mind. Shanghai is in China. Right? Anyway. कहाँ थे हम लोग? This one, integration. I am saying WTO declining, as you know, dispute settlement problem, protectionism by West. So people are looking at regional organization, intra-regional trade. Another issue is dollar. There is a concept of de-dollarization. It means that dependency of dollar, it is providing undue advantage to the USA. So SEO countries can also, they are also discussing that whether trade within this bloc can be through local currencies. So that the sanctions and various other challenges or dependency on dollar can be, right, reduced. Why is US not strengthening global organization and giving scope for rise of regional organization, rise of China? Why is US not strengthening global organization? A global or any global organization will try to ensure fair play and equality among nations. USA does not want equality. It wants to control the system. It will strengthen global institutions only when those institutions help achieve its interest. It strengthened global institutions when there was end of Cold War. Right? When the USSR disintegrated, global financial institutions, international financial institutions like IMF and World Bank were strengthened by USA in order to control the countries through aid conditionality. 1990, India opened up economy, LPG, why? Domestic challenges, but conditionalities. IMF is controlled by the European and World Bank is controlled by USA. In the sense that the West, USA and allies are controlling these two. Here the governance structure is such that it is helping the West to control. But as far as WTO is concerned, here this control is not that prominent or pronounced as far as this is concerned. So USA will try to undermine WTO. Will try to strengthen this IMF and World Bank. Nobody can stop any country's rise. To answer the second part of question, right? China has not risen today. It has risen from 1979. Why? China opened up its economy in 1979. Deng Xiaoping. And for 2 to 3 decades, China benefited from the globalization. It built up economy, and economic power translated to military power. Now it is there, right? And in any case, sovereign nation can come. The fundamental idea behind the state or national state is that every nation is sovereign. You cannot control what will I do. If some countries are coming together and forming an organization, USA or other countries should not have any problem with that. Right? Anyway. So, as far as SEO is concerned, to conclude our debate or discussion, virtual summit is not virtual silence, right? Although proper or beforehand communication could have been made, but the various development with respect to SEO and the India's presidency indicate or reflect or point out that we have been very much active as far as SEO this is concerned. And especially in the current global scenario and emerging challenges like COVID-19, climate change, supply chain and other things, this SEO as a regional organization hold too much scope for the region as a whole and for India as particular, especially given the fact that this is the parameters or let's say important factors as far as the member countries are concerned, right? But again, there are some challenges as far as SEO is concerned, the composition, Chinese domination, bilateral challenges, ideological issues. You will also find these ideological issues in BRICS, China, Russia, right? Again, and the West see the SEO as anti-NATO, right? Because these countries are having non-democratic regime, authoritarian system and focusing on security, military, defense, etc. So they are trying to be a bloc to counter that NATO. So the West view SEO as anti-NATO, right? But India does not view SEO as anti-NATO. India is a part of SEO, which is an Eastern economic or Eastern bloc. Eastern bloc in the sense compared to West. India is also part of various other organizations in which members of West are there. India is part of Quad. So SEO in that sense provides us a platform to balance the competing interest between East and West. SEO also provides opportunity to maintain strategic autonomy, that we will not be guided or directed by the West. We will do what is beneficial for us within the international legal regime and concern for human rights and democracy. Let us see some questions. After that, we'll finish. Generally, I don't discuss question, but thought that we'll take 2 minutes and see. Come par hai. Chala gaya. Yes. Critically analyze the outcome of the recently held SEO summit hosted by India. So, this is the first. This question has two parts. One is critically analyze the outcome of the recently held SEO summit hosted by India. Second part is, do you think that the virtual mode of the summit reflects the dilution of the significance of SEO to India? Explain. First part, critically analyze the outcome. The meaning of word critically analyze indicate that in-depth writing based upon facts or data. That is the meaning of critically analyze. Right? So critically analyze the outcome, which means you know the outcome, know the declaration, right? And what we say, the statement, and you after writing them, you write an explanatory paragraph. Although this has, let's say this is a 15-mark question, hypothetically speaking. So accordingly, you need to divide space and provide space. It is also possible to write these two parts together. There are multiple ways of writing. In such questions, recently held, which means it's a context. You can also start from the contextual aspect. Recently, this India hosted the 23rd summit in a virtual mode, right? Which has seen New Delhi declaration and the releasing of two joint statements. And after that you write some basic facts for SEO. SEO is an international organization having 8 members, although Iran joined recently. SEO has this much of population. It was started in this headquarters, some kind of thing, and the objective 1 or 2. Simple. After that you write the outcome, or this. Right? After writing the outcome, we'll come to this. Do you think that virtual mode? The point is this is what we discussed. So, don't write that I think or I believe. No, don't write in a first person narrative. Take a third person approach. Which means that the 23rd summit is held virtually, and it is said that the shifting or the virtual summit instead of physical summit reflect that India has started losing interest, or SU has become less relevant to India. Some of the argument in this aspect are 1, 2, 3. Right? However, it would be a very extreme view that this shifting indicate that this is SEO is losing relevance to India. Why? The argument 1, 2, 3. Then you write the real real reason. You may write Russia and etc. and conclude with the prevalent or existing relevance to India and SU as a group. That SU has relevance. It does not mean that we shifted from this. Right? India has been organizing this, and SU as an organization huge potential, especially when there is challenges to Afghanistan, when there is less regional integration, when there is global trade, financial institutions are declining. This view, right? Very easy. The word is explain. Explain in the sense that, see, do you think means normally what happens, do you think? You need to write, you need to explain it. Yes or no is not enough. That is why the explain it is given. And whenever the command is explained, no need to write the negatives of it. But do you think itself has negative? Do you think? Don't write only one point of view. Right? You need to write both. Similarly, whenever there is command to argue, justify, right? Both way. It is not necessary that both should be equal. Right? In the backdrop of global governing institutions losing their relevance, discuss the significance of SEO. Easy to write. Global governing institutions, in the sense that the fundamental objective behind international institutions like United Nations is global peace and security. Is there global peace and security in the world? No. Is there peace in the region? Let's say Afghanistan, let's say Ukraine. So let regional organization like SEO do that. Trade declining right from 2018. Deglobalization, protectionism. Whether it is trade, IFI and UN, etc., there is decline. And regional organization has significance. And this is the reason why UK has joined CPTPP, that comprehensive trade partnership. That is the reason RCEP has been launched. That is the reason ASEAN as a bloc has emerged. Right? This is how you write. Discuss the significance in the sense whenever there is a word discuss, you may write some weakness of SEO. Although these are the significance of SEO as far as this is concerned, SEO has some challenges, especially ideological differences, bilateral issues. Then you conclude. Despite this, SEO as a regional organization, huge potential, right, to promote peace, development, security, right? But however, SEO needs to SEO needs to respect the territorial integrity and sovereignty. And India has shown the way. India has shown the way that by organizing these many meetings, etc., and Prime Minister has led from the front, right? So it has provided opportunities for further taking the initiatives and deepen cooperation to various areas. This is how you write. Okay? Anything else? Any question? No? Thank you. All the best. Revise, read. I will see you tomorrow. We will have class. Tomorrow another faculty will take. I will see you when? Today's? I will see you maybe on Saturday. Saturday I will discuss this governor's power to assent. Saturday or Friday, I am not sure about it, whichever day that might be. Governor's power to assent the bill. Right? one of the most significant development as far as various institutions in India is concerned. In the last few years, they have discovered their power. They did not know that they had this much of power. Any institution at the central level, right? Whether it is NCPCR, NHRC, this juvenile not what is that? Investigative agencies, governors, advisor to governor, whoever that might be. Anyway, I hope you understand what I am trying to say. But again, we will discuss this assent of governors. Governor has to give assent, whether he has to give, whether there is discretion, what are the constitutional provisions, whether the Supreme Court has said something or not, or the Supreme Court is not Supreme Court has generally not been speaking these days. But anyway, we'll see that, right? Okay then, thank you so much.